This disease would bankrupt us.
Fail, fail.
Today is a big day.
So that's expensive.
You're 13% taxed.
I'm a professional patient.
Another slide issue. He's a bad boy. Maybe Larry will be glowing in the dark. 5 health appointments in 1 week.
Plus, we're checking out another new campground in addition to the 3 we checked out in our last vlog.
But this one is new to Gainesville.
Plus, we're still looking for home base.
Plus, we got a huge crack in the front windshield.
Plus, we did our first short in months on a new product for us, the SoftStartUp.
Plus, we made sure we saw the kids, whether they like it or not. We saw our daughter at her work, surprise, and Larry got to see a cool movie with his son.
Plus, we moved to a new site. This time, we're at a regular campground.
Plus, though we only moved like 20 minutes, something else broke inside our RV.
Plus, we're trying out a new RV product, the Andersen blocks, and no, we didn't get them for free.
And all of this, believe it or not, in 1 week.
We're at our every 3 month or so neurology appointment for my main disease, which is Maga. Now I'm gonna have to have disease 1 and disease 2. This guy is awesome, and I love coming here. This is the main reason we're here at UF is because of this doctor and this facility.
Because he is a specialist with this specific Maga, which is a rare form of MS. He wrote a paper about it and everything. He's like the guy for this disorder.
So the main thing is I got to get renewed on my infusions because my insurance only likes to approve it 1 year at a time. The other thing is I had a cognitive test about 6 months ago, but I don't know the results of that cognitive. I think Alice knows what the results are. Alice is like, fail, fail.
I'm also going to talk to him about his mouths. Is it mouths? Is it not mouths? Yeah. Are his symptoms his Mogad kind of rearing its head because it's been kind of under control.
Yeah.
And we're going to see if he can order some tests. It was a good appointment with the fellow. See, that's what's cool about UF. It's a teaching hospital. And very thorough exam and talk about his last cognitive test.
Yeah, that's the thing I really want to know. It's like, how did my brain do the last one? It was said it was a little worse than the first one. But still not too bad. My hand's shaking a little bit.
Yeah, and he did have a little bit of a wobble. But the main thing is we need to figure out this other disease number 2, condition number 2, to know whether his weakness, his fatigue is due to disease number 1 or if it's disease number 2. So I think that's the main thing, is that we need to figure out this second one, and then we can fix that and concentrate on the first one.
I will say he worried me a little bit when he said, like, you know, with the insurance company, you could just completely stop doing the IVIG infusion
after
some point.
2 years, and I think we just hit 2 years,
we're over
right?
2 years, yeah,
we're just over 2 years. So that worries me because that's like $50,000 a month. This disease would bankrupt us if we didn't have insurance. So get insurance, make sure you have insurance because you never know what's going to happen. He's supposed to do his B12 injections again because he stopped them. He doesn't like to take supplements. He's a bad boy.
Okay, we just finished with what I call my medical quarterback, or kind of like my coach. It's good to have a family practice guy that like is following everything that's going on.
He actually is keeping track of Larry's weight on my chart.
Yeah.
What doctor does that?
Yeah, he actually knew all the stuff that I've been doing. It was kind of wild.
So I think I'm leaving my primary and he's going to get me too. Yeah, but I'm a lot easier to take care of.
This guy's awesome. He listens to everything that we say. We're off to Vascular from here, but the problem is parking the dually truck at UF is really a problem. Valet does not accept dually trucks. I actually called the parking people and they actually gave me a parking lot that I'm going to that's for RVs and trucks.
And they'll transport us.
And they're gonna pick us up and transport us to the hospital where we need to go. Vascular hopefully is going to tell us that they do my procedure.
Yeah, so today is a big day because this is our third vascular surgeon consult.
We're at the parking lot, the overflow parking lot. This is what they call the dually lot, I guess, the dually and RV lot. So hopefully somebody's gonna pick us up here and take us to the hospital.
I think.
Because we're like a mile from wherever we have to go. And it's freaking hot and sunny.
The UF Vascular consult was full of surprises. We spent 15 hours at the UF ER, and at the end of that 15 hours, a vascular fellow had actually told us, you know what, UF doesn't do the MALS surgery. And we talked about this disappointment in a different vlog.
At this point, we're pretty sure I need the MALS surgery, but they don't do it at UF, so we got to find another place. So before I start searching, I figure, let me go back and talk to the doctor that definitely did the surgery back in Portland. So he gets back to me in my chart almost right away and says, hey, wait a minute. I've talked to guys over at UF Health at Shands, and there is a guy there that does the MALS surgery. So I called them, and sure enough, they say, of course we do the MALS surgery. Who do you think we are? We're awesome. So they scheduled me an appointment to come and see them at UF Vascular to do the MALS surgery.
But unfortunately, of course, that wasn't for a month. The first surprise at the consult was who the consult was actually with, Dr. Back, and he is the chief of vascular surgery at UF.
So we've got the man there at UF Health, which was awesome. Now, when Dr. Back and I started talking about the MALS procedure, there's two different ways to do the MALS procedure. One is an open procedure where they just make a big cut, spread you open, and do the surgery. The guys in Portland, Dr. Dobb, did it with a general surgery partner, Dr. Gilbert, and they do it minimally invasive. Not only do they do it minimally invasive with tiny little holes, but they use the Da Vinci robot. And I talked to Dr. Back about this, and he's like, Dr. Back, I don't do that robot thing. Robots don't do surgery. Surgeons do surgery. And to do this surgery properly, it has to be done open. The problem with open is the recovery is much, much longer. And I want to get back to kite surfing as quickly as possible.
But I want it done at UF because we trust UF despite everything that's happened. And we'd be in familiar surroundings and be close to family.
And it's close to the Prius, so you can have that Prius.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. It's all about the Prius.
It's all about, I miss my Prius. What wasn't a surprise is there will be more tests. And we're fine with that because we would rather have 10 tests than do a surgery that won't work.
What Dr. Back discussed was this disease of exclusion. You got to exclude everything else and not make sure that, everything that could possibly be causing abdominal pain has to be ruled out first. For instance, he wants me to do the stomach emptying test, which is where you eat an egg sandwich, and then over 4 hours they take pictures to see how far the food has gotten, to see if your stomach is emptying at a normal rate.
Don't they put like radiation in the egg sandwich?
There's some sort of radioisotope. It's called a nuclear stomach emptying test, because they use radioactive stuff to be able to, when they take pictures, they can see it as it's moving down from the stomach to the small intestine and, out the other end.
So maybe Larry will be glowing in the dark.
Okay, after we met with Dr. Back, we have to rule out anything else that could be besides MALS. And who does that? A gastroenterologist. The problem is my gastroenterology appointment was until mid-September. So I thought in the meantime, I would go back to my original gastroenterologist from 20 years ago, and I hooked up an appointment to do a telemedicine because this is the PA that I've known for years. She knows my whole history. So I did a telemedicine appointment with her and kind of bounced the whole idea of what's going on with me and see what she thought. Okay, I just had my telemedicine appointment. She seems to agree that everything points to MALS, and that if I continue to be symptomatic, it makes sense to go through with the surgery. And she gave me a recommendation for a surgeon that she knows that does the procedure at Advent Health in Daytona Beach. See where it goes from this, but that makes me feel better about my MALS diagnosis and it not being something else. Believe it or not, I am eating real food. I am eating an egg sandwich, which is just a gluten-free bagel, 2 eggs, and a bunch of butter. And the reason I'm doing this is because I have felt better recently. I've been able to eat some food. Now I'm actually trying to recreate the symptoms I had with MALS because I got a test coming up. I have to feel pain. I have to feel my pain before the test to see whether or not it alleviates that pain. If I'm not in pain, I can't really take the test. I have to feel the pain that I had when I lost like 20 pounds. are moving from this site. It's actually really cool. This beautiful farm in the middle of nowhere. But there's this tree right above me, right up here, and it drops. See these nuts right here? Squirrels, you can see, have been chewing it, and what the squirrel does, chews it, and it falls right on the roof. And these things are heavy. They're like rocks. Like, look at all the chewed up nuts that these squirrels have chewed up and hit the roof. In certain ways, I am gonna miss this place. It is pretty cool. But the problem with it, it's very isolating. If I go in the hospital, or if I, for an extended period of time, I don't want Alice to be here alone. We are at Santa Fe Palms RV Park.
Resort. Sorry, this is definitely resort.
Yeah, what's resort money, but it's not really
resort money.
They have a pool.
It's kind of small for this many
tiny
spots.
Little pool.
But this is really designed for people going to UF football games. Yeah. They said if there's a football game, it's packed. So it would be really hard to get a spot for a month here.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's $1,300 to $1,500 a month. They have a 7% sales tax, and then a 5%
Alachua County
tourist
tourism
development tax.
Oh my God!
So that's expensive.
You're 13% tax, and there's no shade anywhere. Sorry, we usually like to go in the shade to do these.
If you really want to be close to Gainesville in the football game or the hospital like that, this is your place.
Yeah.
It's about 15 minutes away. But you can go 15, 20 minutes further away and it be at half the cost. Busy highway right there. Not busy, but it makes some noise.
Yeah.
And the airport is right there. That's the good thing, is the Gainesville airport's right there. So you have to be near the airport. Runway does go in this direction. I was going to drone this place, but it's in the zone, and I'd have to get special approval to fly here. So,
and I'm sure all the spots that you'd rather have in the back corner over here where there's no one behind you and you're away from the road, they're all pretty much taken.
This would be out for me because there's just no shade.
No shade.
And if you're here during the summer, that sucks. But if you really want to be here close to the game or close to the hospital, then this is your spot.
And the tax.
So this is never going to happen for us. Unless we just need to be here for one night. We're going to be close to the hospital. They know they're close to town. They know they can get big money for these sites. So
it's gated.
It is Good Sam, but I guess you could do 10% of Good Sam. So.
But 10% doesn't even cover the tax.
Yeah. I'm feeling better. Do I look better? Do I look good, honey?
He's got more energy, which is good and bad. Hey, Larry, tell me what you're doing.
A little trimming before we back in. I need you to pull forward like 6 feet. I want to get these branches.
So Larry wants me to pull the RV forward because he's got some branches to get, but he's staying on the roof. Is that a good idea?
Come on, get it together. Let's go.
What I like about these is when I had a bunch of wood, I had to constantly kind of move them and shift them.
Yeah, you were weird about how lined up they had to be.
I wanted it directly underneath, so that's why I like this. I was like, you don't have to get it magnets on there, so it's centered. Another slide issue. This drawer popped out in travel, and this is a short travel day, so. Here's something we've never had, and we traveled all the way across the US and back, and we went like 15 minutes away, and the whole drawer came out. I heard a crunch. Larry is like, I don't hear anything.
She always hears stuff.
So this is actually a lip balm. And what's crazy is, I guess when it got crunched, it popped. There are pieces all the way down there, even though it was like over here. The drawer popped out, Larry. It ripped this. Are you tired? We are. That's a lot for 1 week. And next week is going to be even crazier.
Got any ideas how to fix that split in the floor? The other thing I need to figure out is how to secure that drawer so the next time we go rolling down the road, it doesn't pop out, dump everything under the slide, and break. What do you think about Santa Fe Palms RV Resort? It's a little pricey for us, and it might be hard to get a spot there during the winter, during football season, because all those tailgaters are going to want to be close to the stadium.
Let us know in the comments here, or like always, you can message me on Instagram or Facebook. Our vlogs are a bit behind, so make sure you check the YouTube community tab because that's more up to date.
If you want to know what's going on with my mystery illness, what the next step is, then think about clicking the subscribe button down there and get notified when we drop our next video.
And you also want to make sure you see his next DIYs because Larry is back at it.
And remember,
downsizing does make sense.